Hey, what's up, guys? This is JTQ9 of SSX-1, and welcome back to the channel. We got a big war, Season 33, War number 4. Well, they're kind of all big in Tier 1. And the weight of this war has knocked me out and my family household as we are under the weather. So I will try to get through this video as best as I can, as I know I want to try to get the content out without falling too far behind. So let's go. We start this off. We got a big war here. We got, 6 fights in this one. And some new champs to fight with, too. Mags. Usually I don't get to play with these champs very often. So anytime I get to use a new one is fantastic. This one here, strategies, I had to change the masters a little bit. Had 3 in Pacify. Or was it Petrify? Anyway, 3 in Pacify to make sure that when I did hit him that I didn't take any poison or I didn't take any incinerate. So the idea was I would only hit him once he was stunned, build to an SP3, and that should basically do the fight. So in this case here, I used an advanced power boost to start us off, to help get to the SP3 faster, and as you can see, a pretty easy and straightforward fight there. Fight number 2, I think you've seen me take it in every war this season. Yeah, that seems about right. Penny Parker versus Wolverine with the Power Focus 1. Very fun fight, again, depending how the AI plays ball. Strategy here, again, is to get the Penny cycle off, SP1 followed by an SP2, and pay attention to his Berserk charges. In this case here, I push him to 25, back out, and then here I either have to land an intercept, or he was nice enough to throw an Aaron, like a big heavy out of nowhere, which allowed me to counter and get the kind of the cycle going with the Power Focus 1. As I've mentioned in previous videos, this fight is actually a lot easier when Power Focused, because you can push him to a bar 1 and just counter much easier at that point. So, yeah, this fight went very smoothly, as you can see. Got to the SP2 relatively quickly, and the fight was done. So on the next one here, I think I've got a Maw on kinetic transference. Pardon me. I've taken this maybe once or twice over the course of the last 2-3 seasons. Just depends on the matchups and who has to go where and whatnot. But this case here, throwing in Vol Boost just in case I get trapped or cornered. Gonna try to pay attention to his energy as much as possible. And whenever I can, I'm going to try to knock him down so the focus is no longer on me. Other than that, just make sure... I know I'm going to take a degen at some point eventually. As soon as he throws an SP1 and he's focused. No, it's not yet. But then after that, it's just... Honestly, the biggest difficult part about this is just making sure you always have a stagger up. So when he does throw the specials, he's not unstoppable for too long. And then managing the power. So in this case here, I build to an SP3 Doom Cycle. Throw it, does some big damage. Get into the cycle. I don't believe it kills him right away, but does enough damage that, again, I'm not particularly worried. Although at this point, I'm not sure exactly what happened, as this is the first time I'm watching it back since fighting, and a lot has happened between kids, throwing up in the background, and anyway, all the fun stuff that happens when households go down. But yeah, no, I wasn't ever really worried about this fight. I know Doom is a tank again, and he's very, very good at controlling the power. And against once the staggers are up, it's good. Now this I-Bomb fight. I've taken this a couple times. You've seen in the last war, just as recently as the last war, that I got very close to dying and probably should have died last war. Anyway, in this case here, one of the things I didn't particularly notice going in, which I kind of regret, is that it is an R4 as opposed to the R3s I've been fighting against, which means he's going to gain power quicker and he's going to hit a lot harder. So the fight is in relative control. Again, we want to get to a Doom cycle, pardon me, a Penny cycle, or get the SP3, get the Spidey charges up, and then build to an SP2, and then throw that. And usually with an SP3, with an R3, the champ would normally be dead. And in this case here, it's not the case. So we're going through again. I hit into the block to push it back so I don't get trapped up against the wall. As you can see, he's been basically unblockable the entire time. And here's where the mistake was, is I threw the SP2 a little bit too close to 2 bars of power. So now he's got the unblockable, and he hits really, really hard with that. Unfortunately there, for whatever reason, I couldn't dex out of the way. I took a 5-hit combo to the head. And then I get trapped in the corner, take another 4-hit, and then throw kind of a desperation SP1 at the wrong time. I could have at least waited till he charged in and then maybe could have salvaged something. But with that, as you can see, it was my first death of the season, unfortunately. God, what bad timing as well, as you'll see later on. But anyway, this is just me cleaning up the fight after here. I think I just get to a 1 SP1 and the fight is done. Really mad at myself. I've taken this fight a lot of times. Feel like I really let everyone down because, again, I've had some good success with that one. And, yeah, you just never like dying and letting your teammates down. So, anyway, in this case here, I've got a null, again, on this node. Taking it with Doom. Last time I took it with Doom, I ate 5-hit combo straight to the face right off the bat because I forgot that he goes unblockable right away, because when I took it in the off-season, I had a Mole Man synergy, which gives him a 20% chance to shrug all debuffs immediately. So this time I played it a lot clearer, a lot safer. And yeah, let's see how it goes. So he starts off unblockable. So happy to get that first intercept there. Second one there as well. Trying not to have him push to throw an S1, so I pushed him to the S2, so far everything's going well. And then again, like last time, in different champs, you like to see how they hit and just test the amount of damage that they can put on you. So at least with Doom, he doesn't hit very hard. I get to my Doom cycle, where I get the SP3 off, build that, throw the SP1. Doesn't quite push me to an SP2, just because I didn't want him to throw the SP1 to create all the inversion stuff, so I couldn't quite get the complete Doom cycle in. But all in all, pretty safe, pretty clean fight. So, and now my last fight for the war. Haven't taken a mini boss basically all season yet, so this is the first one. So despite being on a different device and on break at work, this fight here, pretty straightforward with mags. It's again changed my masteries to have the pacify. You only want to hit him when he's got the stun, just so it doesn't trigger Conflictor or other things. And the strategy here is to basically build to an SP3, stun him, and then throw it. And then that way you can get the bleeds on him. And that should end the fight. Again, very straightforward. At least when he's magnetized, even when I'm not throwing specials, he's still doing some decent damage as well. So yeah, as we go through this SP3 in an accelerated fashion, it's going to put a couple bleeds on him, which I was surprised actually didn't kill him right away, but the bleeds are on him, and then when they expire, and kaput, he is done. And that was my war. So I had 6 fights this war. All in all, I thought I had them basically under control, and our battle group actually did well despite our shortcomings, where we won the battle group. Unfortunately, we actually ended up losing this war because of my silly death, where I should have probably baited another SP1 before throwing the SP2. We ended up tying, but then losing on the tiebreak with time. So unfortunately, that's what happened this war. I'm really disappointed in myself with that. Took some other good fights, happy with them overall, but we need to snap out of this losing streak we've been on. Unfortunately, we started off well with 1 and lost the last 3, so we're gonna have to make it up and get going. Our next war, I believe, is against 4 Loki, which is another tough one. So looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.